Hello, everybody. Hi, Victoria and Roberta, Betty G, Annette. And let's see who else is on there.
Irene.
Hello, Irene. And Laura. And I think that's it for now. I'm sure we'll have others join us if I missed anybody. Oops, sorry. Hey, we got our kit here. We got our album here. We are going to leap right into things today because this takes a little bit to build. This is what we're going to make our, isn't that pretty?
Mary R and Mary T.
Oh, hi, Mary T and Mary R. And Dare to Dream. Hello. Okay, so this is what we're going to make today. Our Let It Snow album. It's approximately 7 by 7. Yeah, just a little gravelly today. I'm okay, Roberta. It's just the weather's changing, and yeah. So let's get going. Let's go ahead with the camera in my hands, if you would. Let's see what's in the kit. We don't have any more of these kits. They are sold out. Let's see. You should have in your kit, I think I have more than you have. I think you get a packet of Hunkydory AB rhinestones. You get My Labor of Love. I made these for everybody. They're stamped and die cut and formed poinsettias. I sent you a bottle of diamond Stickles so everybody would have everything to put your kit together. You have a black graphic 45 Trifold Waterfall Folio Album. You have a pack of stickers. Yours may be loose or they may be in a pack, but you have stickers. That's 2 sheets of stickers from G45. You have 1 each of all the papers from the G45. I've been embossing and doing all kinds of things over here, so my papers feel dusty. You have all of the 12 by 12 papers from the 12 by 12 kit. You have also 1 each of all the papers from the Prints and Solids. We get lots and lots of paper today. Lots of papers from this G45 collection. And then you also get a couple of sheets of layering papers. I sent you a red and I sent you 2 sheets of green. And these are Bazzll Basics.
Hi to Glenn and Kim.
Hey, Glenn.
G.
Hi, Kim. Welcome, guys. So we have a rich, wonderful kit today. And I think we'll go ahead and we're going to start, I believe, with the outside of our album today. And the reason for that is I want to make sure we don't inadvertently use our decorative papers that we need for our covers in some other way. So I want to make sure we actually have those. Although we probably won't put the 3D flowers on until we're done with the album. Okay, these are beautiful, beautiful albums. They've already included the magnetic closures in them. We don't have any more of the black in stock, but I do have these albums in ivory and craft. It may be well after Christmas before the black are available again. Let's just take a little tour of our album. You have a pocket page to start with. Then you have a page that you can decorate both sides, and you have a slide in for a tabbed page here. you have all of these pages for your horizontal photos, and this has a beautiful magnetic closure. And then you have all these pages. It's called the waterfall because of the way they've arranged these pages. But you also have all of these pages available for your portrait style photos. And that also has a beautiful magnetic closure. So this is a gorgeous album base. And I highly recommend these from Graphic 45. They're beautiful. Let's take a look at our album itself. Don't get fooled into thinking this is exactly 7 by 7 because it's not. So we have 7 1/4 widthwise, and it is 7 1/2 going the other direction. So there we go. We are going to, let's see. Let's go ahead and get out one of our green sheets, which I have used as a backer paper for my album. So I want one of these, and I'm going to go find the great big, beautiful Santa image. There he is. This is going to be our cover design. And then I'm going to want, I did this pretty design on the back, and I did the poinsettias on the spine. We'll wait to do the back and the spine because we can use almost anything there. I just want to make sure we get this front page done first. So we know that this is 7 1/4 by 7 1/2. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this green backer sheet. I need my paper cutter off the table, please.
Anything else?
I don't know. I've been doing a series of Friday night Christmas card classes locally, and I had a class last night, and I ran away with my own paper cutter. So I'm going to cut this to 7 by 7 1/4 to fit this dimension on the front. Thank you, honey. I actually layered this in 3 papers before, but the reason I did that is because I made the mistake of thinking that this actually was 7 by 7, and I cut my papers a little small. I can actually allow a little more of my Santa design to show if I just do the green and the Santa design. So that's what I'm going to do. So you guys always, by the time we're done here, I always figure out all of my mistakes. And my friend who was in class last night, we were making shaker cards, and she had my powder bag across the table, and I said, "Toss me that, would you?" She did, so I have a big splotch of powder in the middle of my Kate. And she's one of those people that if at Christmas dinner or Thanksgiving dinner you said, "Toss me one of those rolls," it'd come flying at you. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut my background design here to be 7 by 7 1/4. It should be a really nice fit on the cover of our album, and it is. That looks beautiful. We have just the right amount of margin all the way around. That looks fairly good. Okay, so let's get our Santa out here. And this one, you gotta kind of figure out where you're going to cut things. I think what I will do is start by trimming just above the stamps here, because I really don't want those stamps to show in my design. So I'm going to, oh, I think I need batteries. My light's not very bright. Okay, I guess I'm actually going to have to do this without my light. Terrible. So I'm going to cut 3 inches off the bottom first. I actually probably should have taken like 3 1/8 because I have the top of my stamp design still here. So that's what happens when I don't have my light. I still have a little bit of stamp there. Okay, there we go. So I've cut this off so that I have nice red showing at the bottom. Now let's see how much of this I can get. I need, from top to bottom, I need this to be 7 inches because from top to bottom, my first layer was 7 1/4. So I need this to be top to bottom 7 inches. And that's actually going to be perfect. Look at that. It's going to grab the top of that tree. That's pretty. Okay. And now I'm going to have, width-wise, I'm going to have 6 3/4. So I think I'm going to let this pretty border, maybe we'll see if I can keep that pretty border stay on the side. And then let's see what 6 3/4 gets me. I get most of the polar bear. I like that. So I'm going to go to 6 3/4 with this one. And let's see how this looks if I put this on my album right on top of that green. And that looks very striking. I like it a lot. Very, very pretty. Yeah, I like that. We're going to save all these pieces because you'd be surprised how many of these pieces will work out really nicely and things. Okay, and to attach these, my glue bottles are over there too. Let me see if this one works. Yeah, okay. My glue bottles. I'm just going to glue this, guys. I don't have to do anything extra fancy. My cover is made of chipboard. It's really nice, heavy chipboard, but it is chipboard. So these papers are going to glue down very nicely to that chipboard. I do want my edges to be right out to the edges because I don't want any little peel-ups happening. I'm going to need the baby wipes off the table, please. I know we took everything over there last night. What we didn't take to begin with, we retrieved and brought over there. I did add Stickles to my album, Mary. That's going the wrong direction, I think. There we go. There we go. In fact, I even included Stickles in the kit. And Kim R., I did get your message that you were shorted Stickles. I have some. I used everything I had in the kits, so if they missed it in yours, it's possible that your Stickles ended up in one of the kits, but I have some that are due in any time. Has Notions Box come in yet? That are due any time at all. So I will drop those in the mail to you post-haste. Yes, absolutely. The Stickles works wonderfully on the graphic 45 paper. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and glue this down on top of my green layering sheet. Yep, I stickled my album, my Santa image, and then I added my flowers, and I stickled my flowers because Christmas scenes just demand glitter, don't they? And Stickles is great because there's no glitter shedding with Stickles. All right, we have officially begun, friends and neighbors. There it is. We have our Santa image on. All right. We're not going to worry about our flowers yet. We'll do those probably last. So let's open this up, and I think we'll just work our way through. Which actually means we're going to do one of our more challenging things first. I drew myself a template, and unfortunately, I did not do this before I put together and sent out all of your kits. But I drew this template for this pocket when I did the sunflower album for my aunt. And I was hoping maybe I could give you some dimensions that will help you in cutting this pocket piece. Hello, Thelma. So this pocket officially measures 7 high by 5 wide. And the way they recommended doing this at G45, I only had mixed results with, but I'll tell you what they recommended. What they recommended was that you hold your piece of paper, cut your piece of paper down to a more reasonable size, then hold your piece of paper here and run a stylus along this edge to get your basic slope. What I did and had better results with when I made this template was to start with I want my pocket to have a border around it too. So I'm going to give you my dimensions. And I took the horizontal and vertical dimensions, and then I measured in by the amount of I want you to see, come in a little closer, honey, so you can see this pocket. This stark black and white is, there we go. See, it comes in by 1 inch and probably 1/4 or so. Yeah, it comes in by 1 1/4 inches. This one comes over by 5, and then it's raised. It has an edge of about 1 3/8 inches. So what I did was I measured a piece that was 6 3/4 long to fit my dimension coming down the outside of my pocket. Then I measured one that was 4 3/4 instead of 5. I came over 4 3/4. I came in 1 inch on the top and marked it. I put a little dot here. And then I came up on my 4 3/4. I came up about 1 inch and actually about 1 1/8 inches over here. And I put a little dot here. Then I drew a line using my ruler from that dot to this dot, And that's how I came out with my, that's how I came up with my dimension. So I hope that helps you. I know that's going to be several steps, and you may need to do this piece later in order to continue working with us, since we don't really have time to do all of those extra steps together. But I did want to tell you how I made my template for this pocket. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to keep this template from here on out, and then I can just copy them right into my template. I'm going to put it right in with my patterns. So for this piece, I'm going to use a piece of my Poinsettia background paper, which is right here. And I'm just going to use my template and cut around that to get my pocket. So I'm going to get a black marker here. I can create a line I can see. And I only really need to put my marking on just this outside edge, because the other edges are straight. And I'm going to cut inside that black line. And I should theoretically have a nice pocket to fit. So if you're working along, good idea, Annette. If you're working along, just skip this step for now, and you can come back and make this template later. My template's pretty good. It does look like maybe, and once you do this, you may have to trim yours just a little. I'm going to trim just a tiny edge off of this end so that my template looks even all the way around. And I'm going to go ahead and glue this pocket down. This will take a couple extra steps, but it's not particularly hard if you do it the way I said, and you just, you know me, I don't like to measure, so it seemed like a trauma to me to have to measure to make my template. But then I felt good about the fact that I will have that template from now on, and this will be an easy job. Okay. Got this black on black, so it's going to show more once I put the paper behind it where that line is. I want to make sure my line is pretty good. You see me with the baby wipe cleaning up my glue. You can do that, just don't oversaturate, touch anything that needs to be mopped up, and then just don't get it over wet. Get rid of that and set my baby wipe off to the side. The next piece I want my bright blue snowy background. And I'm looking for that. Take all these pieces out. I thought this came out of the main book, but maybe it came out of the prints and solids. Oh, there it is. It's on the back of the polar bear print. Okay. And this pocket is one of the pieces that's just, yes, absolutely. I will show you the completed one if we run out of time today. Okay, this pocket is technically 7 by 7.25. 7.25. However, and I'm going to start cutting my paper that size, but I can tell you we're going to have to trim it down. I already know that from experience that we're going to have to trim it down. But let's start with our 7 by 7.25. Inch paper. I liked these two together because I liked the light blue in the poinsettias against the light blue. Back up just a little, please. Against the light blue. Now, one of the problems you're going to have is that the magnet is in here. So we have to kind of shift this around the magnet. And we still want to get it clear up against the edge. So this is maybe one of the trickier pieces of the entire album, in my opinion, is getting this piece in here. And one of the things you can do is there's a couple things. One is they shove the silica gel packet up in that pocket. Dig out the silica gel packet because that's getting in our way. And then we're going to open up to still working gently because this is chipboard. It will tear, but we're going to get in there and get as much room as we can for that pocket. That's what I found to be helpful. And then we're going to start working and sliding that paper in. Now, actually, this paper, I got it in there, but it's not glued. I'm almost tempted to just glue these edges. I actually think I will. Because when you put glue all the way around this edge and then try and slide that in there, it can be very, very difficult to get in and get glue everywhere. And that's not going to go anywhere. You saw how much I had to manipulate to get that in there. The 7 by 7.25 actually is a perfect fit. So I'm just going to take my glue bottle and I'm going to run it along this top edge, this binder edge, and the bottom. And I don't think I'm going to take that piece back out now that I got it there. I am going to get my glue line down in here. And I want a good glue line holding that in place. I may even put a couple of rows here. And now I'm going to come down my inside cover. And I'm going to come across my bottom here. And I have plenty of glue on there to hold that exactly where I want it to be. I like that, and I'm leaving it alone. One of the things you need to be careful of is to make sure that this paper is well inside of this fold line. There's a fold line that comes down right here. You see that?
Say hi to Elsie and Brenda.
Hi, Elsie.
And Brenda.
Hi, Brenda. So you want to make sure that you stay well inside of that fold line, because if you don't, if your paper comes out too far, it will crinkle there and look terrible. So keep that paper well inside your fold line. Yeah, I think that's going to work out great. Okay, moving on. Let's go to our, got my book open in front of me for a template here. Okay, we want next, I want this. I'm going to go ahead and grab my stickers, because there's something very satisfying about actually finishing off a page. So I'm going to grab my stickers, and I'm going to put my 2 stickers that finish this page on. I chose So Very Merry, this big pretty sticker. Figured this is a pocket. Things are going to go in and out of this pocket, and there probably aren't going to be a lot of photos on here, so I chose this nice big pretty So Very Merry sticker to go on the pocket. And then I chose, there's another really pretty sticker here. It's on the other sheet. Let's see. This Merry Christmas has this pretty filigree edge on it. So we'll have to knock out the little filigrees here. Now, because it's light blue, it's not going to show on my light blue background with my poinsettias. So what I did was I mounted the sticker on a piece of my leftover green. So I'm going to grab that. And I'm going to put my sticker on the green background. And I'm just going to cut around this sticker. To create a nice little mat for it. It actually looks really good. My mat ends up being 2 and 3/4 by 1 1/2. And now it shows nicely on my background. So I'm going to put this on the bottom of my page, on the bottom of my pocket, just because I thought it was a really nice match with the colors of the pictures, and it had the little poinsettias on it. So there's our first page completely done. All right, the next thing that I want is I want this, the Santa page that has the circles. So I'm looking for the Santa. This is it. It's called Christmas Dreams. And this next page is interesting because we have this notch out of the top of it. And there's a couple different ways you could do this. You could, if you were inclined to, you could go ahead and cut your full-size sheet, which would be 7 by, well, actually 6, if you want to leave a border on it, or, leave the border around it, it'd be 6 3/4 by 6 3/4 this time. You could go ahead and do that and then cut the notch out of it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to first trim off my tab on the top here.
Hi to Karen.
Hi, Karen. I'm going to trim off this tab on the top. And I'm actually going to bring my paper in below the notch. And then I'm going to use some borders to fill in this space around the notch. I like the way that looks. It's a cleaner look than having that notch kind of cut out by hand. So what I'm going to measure is the bottom of my notch to the bottom of my page is 6 1/4. I want to leave a little 1/8" border all the way around. So I'm going to cut my paper. I'm going to go to 6 1/8 deep. I'm going to go to 6 1/8. Let's see. I'm also I want to position my paper so that I have, this is really kind of a focal point, this page. I want 4 good images showing here, since at this point nothing gets covered up. So I'm also going to position my paper so that I'm going to get full images. Now that might seem like a waste of paper, and maybe it is, but it's what I want to do. So I'm going to cut my paper across the top. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to trim off this edge, and I'm going to end up with these 4 images. Let me measure this and see what I'm getting here. My paper is bigger than it needs to be. Let's see. My width on this paper is 7, so I'm going to go 6 3/4 wide. Which puts me right at the edge of my poinsettia, and I like that. I'm liking the way that looks. And then I'm going to come down here and trim off the excess. And we've already decided we wanted this to be, I'm going to go 6 1/8. 6 1/8. I'm going to cut off just a little bit of the top of the Santa so I can get my 6 1/8 and still keep that pretty reindeer, most of that pretty reindeer scene at the bottom. So just kind of high grading my paper there and taking the part of the images that I like the most. So I'm leaving this black border at the top, knowing that I'm going to come in and put some trim strips here. And I'm liking the way that looks. Could have even actually been just a little bit bigger, but I'm not going to sweat that. I'm going to go with what I have here because I generally like it.
And you already cut it?
And I already cut it. But I do like it anyway. I mean, I like the way I cut my pattern here. So I had these full images. It's easy in a pattern with a big print like this, especially where you have these photos, not photos, but images of Santa and the reindeer and things, to end up with a bunch of half images. And I kind of wanted full images. You have ample paper in this pack to do everything that needs to be done. And these little strips I'm cutting off the back have a nice pattern on them that I can use to use for some of my borders and things. So I don't really think I'm wasting my paper. Kind of put that in place and clean up my glue a little bit. And I like the way that looks. Now, I could go ahead and put borders on now if I want to, or I can come back and do that. I could use some of those strips I cut off of the back, but I have some pretty little border strips we're going to get to after a while. So I think I'm just going to change the page, go to the next page, and lay out what I want for this one. Now, I want to say that on my first sample album, I put a lot of stickers and stuff in place just to show what they would look like. As I do this one, I'm not going to put all the stickers in place. You absolutely can, but instead of putting the stickers down, I'm going to give the recipient of this album a packet that has the stickers and some extra images and some, read my comment, Debbie, read my comment, go back up to Glenn. I'm going to use full page and then take a bit larger circle punch. That's a good idea, Glenn, to do that circle punch cutout. I like that. That's a very good idea. I think that's fun. Yeah. So I'm going to not put all of my stickers in place as I go. I'll still put my borders, but I want them to be able to put their journaling and their photos wherever they like, and then they can add the stickers. I do like that that comment a lot, Glenn. I think that's a very good way of doing that. I didn't think of it, so there you go. That's the group mind, coming up with solutions to problems. Okay, so I'm going to find my piece of paper that has that pretty blue or green stripe. There, that one is. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut this paper, strip off. My page size again is going to be, it's 7 inches wide. I'm going to go with 6 3/4. And again, I'm going to, since I've already started it on the other side, I might actually have done what Glenn did because I think that's a great idea. But I'm going to go ahead and go with, I think I'll make this one 6 1/2. We'll start there. 6 1/2 by 6 3/4 is what I believe I just came up with. Let's put this on. And then on one of my sheets, I have this beautiful poinsettia border. In fact, it might have, on one of my scraps, I'm going to end up having that beautiful poinsettia border. And I'm going to put that poinsettia border across the bottom and on both of my tabs there. This is just a little high. So I'm going back to my, trimming that just a little bit more. So I'm leaving my black borders there for now, knowing that I'm coming back and putting some pretty poinsettia borders on that edge. You can see that there. So I'll be back in to do that. I really like your notched out idea, Glenn. That's a great idea. Okay. Well, there might be people, Karen, that you actually have to have forward those photos to you, print the photos, and then take them over and spend part of a day actually putting them into their albums, because once they have them, they'll treasure them. But people sometimes just don't. I know exactly what you mean. We went to see my mom last weekend and I showed her the album that I made for my sister. looking to see if she would have appreciation for having an album like that. And she was just kind of a little bit apathetic about it. And I thought, no, I'm still going to do an album for you, but I think I'm going to have to load the photos in it for her. Then I know she'll spend hours looking at it, but she's just not going to have any interest in doing anything with it. And I don't think it's that she's lazy. I just think it's that she doesn't view herself as creative and would never contemplate putting the photos in herself. By contrast, my sister will. When I give her her album, I know she will. So, okay. All right, so I'm going to leave that for now. I do need to cut this piece. And on this one, I put this big pretty cutout, which I probably, if I do this, one thing I can do is leave this corner open so that if we're sliding in a photo, we can slide that photo right under the corner of that photo, right under that image, and then glue that image down. Okay? So let's, if we decide to put the photos on here, let's leave the corners open so they can get a photo in there. This paper that I'm using for my insert came from the Papers and Solids book. And it's this one. And this pocket will hold a paper that is a little smaller than the pocket to have it come in and out well. I cut this one, and this is a nice fit. I cut this one to 6.5 by 6.5, and it slides in and out of the pocket nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this to 6.5 by 6.5. And then you're going to want something for your little pull tab. I just used a folded piece of paper, but you could use a piece of ribbon. You could use a little index tab. You could use a lot of different things. I do like the way that green goes with both sides of my pocket. So I'm going to probably, just for the sake of time and convenience here, I think I will make myself a little 1-inch pull tab. Probably make it 2 inches long by 1 inch wide. I'm going to fold that pull tab in half. And I'm going to position that in the center of my paper so that it will kind of hit the middle of that pocket and create an extra little tab there. Now, like I said, if you want something fancier or more durable, there's lots of choices for what you could do. I'm just making a little matching paper tab. And that's going to be a nice fit. And let's see. One of these pages has big, beautiful images on it for those. I love that pattern right there. I'm going to go ahead and sort out these prints and solids as long as I'm messing with them here. It's my borders. I'm going to go ahead and pull these because we're about to start cutting those picture pages. I'll come back and do this because I'm not laying my hands on those prints very easily. Nope, that's not it either. They're here. I know they're here. Make sure my little slide-in page slides nicely. Just push it down in there. Okay. Now, we're just about to start with our horizontal pages and our portrait pages. And I want to stop here and discuss this for just a minute. When I made this one, I put papers on both sides of every tab. And as I said, I actually stickered them and things. But what I'm going to do this time is I'm just going to supply the stickers. I will go ahead and put edges and things because I think even if we cover those up, that's okay. But I do think the borders look really attractive when you put the borders on. I just probably will not put these on. In addition to that, one of the other things that's a consideration is that you might want to think about whether you want to put papers on both sides. At this point, my magnet closure still closes really nicely. But I want you to think about once we put all of these journaling cards and all of these photos in here, it's going to add some bulk to this. So what we might want to consider doing, and it's completely up to you, you might want to consider whether you want to put papers on both sides, like I've done here, or whether you just want to put your papers on one side so that when we add the photos and we add the journaling, that this doesn't get overfilled. This was actually something that was a discussion in one of the videos from Graphic 45 that I was watching. In some of the album classes, they don't say anything, but in this particular class, she did mention controlling the amount of bulk that you get. And of course, I'd already done this with pictures on both sides. So it's something to think about whether we want to have the journaling and photos. You know, once we put in the journaling and photos, do you want to have both sides covered? I may do it anyway, but I just wanted to talk to you about that because it will add to the bulk of the overall pages. Okay? Does that make sense, what I'm saying? Glenn. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to decorate my little magnetic tabs here. I need a piece of that nice solid green I had here a minute ago. Oh, there's the tags I was looking for earlier. They're on the back of that one. There they are. Okay, so I want a piece of that nice green that I had a minute ago. I know I have some scraps here. There. I like that one. Okay. I'm going to cut a piece of this green that is just a little less than 1 inch wide and about 3.5 inches long, a little less than 1 inch by 3.5 inches, which I believe I can use that little piece right there for. Okay. And then on my sticker sheet, I have a very pretty little love sticker that has a fancy edge on it that just matches the end of my tab right here. So I'm going to put this love tab here. And then I'm going to cut a little bit off the sides of this love sticker. I don't want this, I want the thing to look like it's all one piece. So I'm going to put, you may or may not want to trim that off, but I liked it trimmed off. And I'm going to cut this just a little shorter. So once I added my sticker to the end, I lost my border around it. I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. I like the way this looks as a little edge to go around my magnet. Okay, and I'm going to do this one over here with a little less than a 1 inch strip. A little nick out of my card there, so I'm going to trim that off first. Or I just overcut just a little. Okay. I'm going to cut myself a little 1 inch piece. Looks good. And I'm going to use this rabbit sticker. Such a cute little sticker. And at 1 inch, that is a perfect match side by side with my rabbit. And I just need to decide how long I want this to be. Start about there. Let's see what I think. Yeah, just what I want. So my total tag ends up being 4 inches long by 1 inch wide, including the rabbit sticker. They just look so cute there. Okay, so now I have my little tabs covered. Oh, that's a strong magnet on there. Okay. Next, I'm going to go ahead and start cutting my pieces for my my pages. I have that beautiful points. I wanted to kind of put bright, pretty pages at the top. So I'm going to use some of this poinsettia paper to cover one side, and I'm going to use the bright robin paper to cover the other side. Excuse me. We want these pages to be 4. And you could cut these, if you wanted to get as much as possible out of your paper, you could cut these to 4 by 6. Or you could go a little bit longer and go to 4 by 6 1/4, which is what I did with mine. So I'm going to cut this poinsettia paper to be 4 inches for my first page, 4 inches by 6 1/4 inches for page 1, because I want this bright, pretty paper on top. And then just to make this page match really pretty with what I already had, I'm going to, with this page, I'm going to get a piece of that green and I'm going to create myself a border out of this green stripe. As soon as I locate it, we know it's here. That's not it. Where did my green go? There's 2 similar looking greens. I've separated out these prints and solids already, and then I mixed them up again. I'm going to put these over here. I think the prints and solids make really good sheets to put the photos on, because while they're very pretty, they're also sheets that could be easily covered without feeling like you're losing. What did I do with that? There it is. Without feeling like you're losing. Now I cut this the opposite direction this time. Oh, this will work though. Okay, I want just one of these stripes off of this paper for a border. So I'm going to go to my trimmer and I'm going to create a pretty little border that has that pretty striped edge. And I'm going to put it right here. just a little longer than it needs to be, so I'm going to trim that off. Now I think I'll trim it straight. There we go. And I'm going to put this border stripe on here because it just makes everything match pretty. And then you'll notice over here, I did the same thing and I brought in that same border at the bottom of the robins just to kind of give everything a cohesive tone across. That was a very thoughtful gift, Mary R. Aren't these pretty together? I love the way these prints look. I'm going to go ahead and cut my robin paper. Remember, you're directional here, so this will keep that striped paper handy. I'm going to cut this off. And I'm going to make this paper lost my ruler again. Okay. Where did my ruler go? There it is. Oh, that's nice. Annette, I like that. Okay. I'm going to go. I love all you guys' ideas for a little glue there at the corner. I want it to be 4 by 6 1/4. I love how bright and pretty these papers are. So pretty. Now this top image in both cases is this canvas. The chipboard papers here are a little wider than they are as you go down through the waterfall pages. I didn't change what I was doing. I just left more black at the edge. So I have a wider black border here. If that bothers you, you can cut this page a little wider. It did not bother me. I just made all my pages the same size. I'm going to take another strip of this pretty paper. I may even make 2 stripes this time. You'll see what I mean if you're working along. There's a kind of brighter green line, and I'm cutting on those brighter green lines to create my stripes. I love that. There we go. Just put some matching borders there too. make it all coordinate pretty. I cut that one there, but then I really like the top of that robin's head, so I might not use it there. I might use it somewhere else. There we go. I do love the way that looks. So now we've got our first page on each side. I could put this here, but I cover up the top of both those robin's heads, and I don't like that, so I'm going to leave that alone. Okay. Now, it's decision time as far as how many pages I'm going to put in. I definitely am going to cover this page. See that magnet there? And I'm definitely going to cover that. And I'm going to cover this page with an image that has a lot going on it. If I covered this with just a solid print, I'm afraid that the little bulge where that magnet is would show, but it doesn't show at all when I use a busy print. So I'm going to use probably the same print, the So Very Merry bright blue. I'm going to cut my page, and then I'm going to glue over that magnet. So let's get that page out here. I'm going to trim off this outside strip so I'm not inadvertently including that in my measurements, which I've done more times than I care to think about. Some of my little tiny scraps out of the way. And I'm going to cut this page to 4 by 6.5. Let's see. Let's go 4 inches by 6.5 inches. No, 6 1/4. 6 1/4 inches. I'm going to come over the top of this one, and in addition to gluing around my page, I'm actually going to put a generous coat of glue right over the top of that magnet. It won't impact the magnetism. It still will work just fine, but it will make sure the paper sticks on top of it. I'm going to leave my 1/4 inch border at the top and the sides. I am going to kind of press this down a little bit so this doesn't dry with a gap there around that bigger magnet. So I'm holding that paper down just a little extra. Don't usually have to do that, but I got this big bump where that magnet is. And see, now that that's in there, you don't see it at all.
Glenn says he's going to make a recipe album of his
That'll be
grandmother's
nice.
recipes.
That'll be beautiful to make recipe cards. I love that. I'm going to use I could use, if I wanted, now this one's cut a little shorter because I made the last one 6 1/4, but I could put a pretty border here, and I could use this cutoff piece as an additional page if I wanted to. And I like to make my paper go as far as possible, so I probably will. What?
He's going to call them Lick My Flap recipes.
Okay. And what kind of border do I want there? Actually, I have plenty of paper that I don't have to do this right now. I might save that for a card. I think I'm going to go ahead and cut this to be 4 by 6 1/4. The paper I was just talking about is a perfect size for an A6 card. I'm just going to go ahead and put this down here. I like the way these colors in this Let It Snow collection kind of go together. And I like the way these look, looking at the edge of the waterfall. I really like the way these colors look when they're all stacked up on both sides. I tried to pay attention to making sure that I had nice complementary colors next to each other, which is not difficult since this whole paper pack coordinates so beautifully. Now again, I put stickers on here last time. I'm opting to wait to put the stickers on until after I have the album, the photos and journaling in. My next paper I opted to use was green. I have a piece of that green going here somewhere. And then I put that up against the robins, Merry and Bright, going the opposite direction. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do that again because I like the way that looks. As soon as I find the robins again. Where are they hiding? There they are. Okay. So I'm going to cut my 4 by 6 1/4 of my robin paper. Go ahead and put them right here. These papers could easily be cut to 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 if you're inclined to do that. If you want a little larger canvas. Like the way that looks. And then I need that green. Are you the green? I think you're the green. There's the green. Cut a 4 by 6 1/4. Of the green. This actually goes together pretty fast, I think. What, it's 3:20. And I think we're going to we'll wrap up between 4 and 4:30. They've done so much for us already in the design of the album that it makes it pretty easy. For my next one, I'm going to use blue on one side. This beautiful blue snowflakes. 4. As well. Put that clear on across. Now 4 by 6 1/4. Go to the top with this. There's still Glenn flirting again. Okay, and I'm going to put the polar bears on the other side. You gotta love that polar bear print. It's too cute. Four by 6 1/4. It'll be fun tomorrow. Tomorrow's the day that my aunt has her party. So it'll be fun to see what she thinks of her sunflower album. I'm anxious to see that because she's one of those people who's really highly appreciative of things. You know, she will be quite exuberant about it, I'm sure. Let's go to this beautiful snowflake paper next. So it'll be fun to see her reaction to her album. I can't wait, really. I can't wait to. Tonight is game night at Lauren's. Bryce and I will go to Lauren's house to play games, and she went to a bazaar today. She was really excited about it, so I'm anxious to see some of her bazaar finds today. Let's see. On my sticker sheet, I believe I have some pretty borders, and I do. I'm using the 4 by, I cut this one to 4 by 6 1/4, and this is the other page, but I have a pretty red sticker that I'm going to use to make that a little wider. If I get it off of there, get it off the sheet. I'm going to glue this one down and then put that pretty border in. I haven't seen too much about bazaars. They kind of died out here during COVID, and I don't know if there's any bazaars scheduled. Have you heard of any, Grace?
Yeah, there's quite a few.
Are there quite a few?
Yep.
I'm just out of touch with what's happening there. I'm going to put this pretty border in here to expand that red. If I didn't cut it short the second time. Come on. But I had enough leeway on the bottom to move it up. So that looks pretty. Next, I'm going to do this Noel with the green from the back of there. I just cut that too long. Okay, this up here. Now, because this was a repeat of the green I used before, I'm going to put a pretty piece of border at the top of this one. How about you guys? Are there bazaars where you guys are? Lauren said this was a huge one at one of the high schools over there. She was just driving by and saw the sign and went home to see if her roommate wanted to go. She didn't, so she went back and perused and said she got a lot of her Christmas shopping done. Okay, I need a 4 by 6 1/4. This paper is and is not directional. It has writing going every which way, so you really can't go wrong with it. But I do think it looks better some directions than others. I got that just a little wide, so trimmed it off a little bit. Okay. I have this last page here.
Victoria says that they have an art and wine festival.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, let's see. What else do I want to use? What haven't I used? Use plenty of red. I've used my blue, although this blue might look good there. This one on the bottom isn't going to show it anyway. I'll use this dark blue. This one down here. Oh, gift bags that look like purses. I have a couple cutting dies that are gift bags that look like purses. So cute. I have one in the store, little gift bags that are heart purses. They're really fun for Valentine's Day. I'm going to use this paper on the top. Looks good. Now I am going to go back and add a few little border stickers on some of these because I think they'd be really cute. And I actually left an extra gap at the top of this one for a border sticker. Let's see what we've got handy to do that with. That one goes the wrong direction. Let's see. Oh, we have this pretty one. Look at this pretty one. There's enough here for a couple of borders, but I'm going to put this red Poinsettia border right here. I like that. Save this piece because I have enough for another one. Put that just a little long. Just a little shorter. Only wood because I over clipped it. Come on. There we go. So that looks pretty that way. It looks very pretty that way. I love sticker back up there. We have those in. Now, let's start working on our portrait side. And here's another one of those magnets we will need to cover. So let's see what I did here. I believe I used the green. And let's see. My papers are out of control here. There's nothing unusual about that for me. But okay. I'm going to use this green because it's very busy. And that's what I want. So I'm going to cut myself my 4 by 6 1/4. That's going to look great. And I'm going to completely cover this magnet with my adhesive. I'm going to put plenty of glue, especially on the edge of this one, on that outside edge. That's normal amount everywhere else. Get this in with proper border. I'm going to hold this down. I'm not trying to racehorse along, Irene. I apologize if I'm working well in advance with some of you. I just want to make sure that we can finish in time. Just want to make sure this stays down good. So I'm going to hold this in place so I don't end up with a gap here. Okay, we'll go ahead and put the, if I have enough here, I'm not sure I have enough of that one. Let's see what else. Here's a nice green. Okay, let's get some green for this other side. 4, 6 1/4. And my pretty green on the other side. That one. Next page, we're going to do some poinsettias. Let's see how much I have. Yes. So if I have 6 1/4 here, I do not. But I could take this one. I'll take it from this side. Take 4. 6 1/4. I'll put this in. There we go. Looks nice. I'm going to put in another piece of my blue opposite that one. That looks nice. You have way more than enough paper in your kit to do everything you want to do on this album. So what that would tell you is that by getting one Princeton solids and one 12 by 12, you would have enough paper to do probably 2 albums. Okay, next page. Let's see, where's my polar bears again? I still have polar bear paper. Where are they hiding? polar bears hiding under there. Oh, and I do have enough. Good. I'm going to for 6 1/4. Put the polar bear on this side. And I'm going to get some of my dark blue if I can find some, and I'm going to do this side.
Irene and her sister did all the family recipes as scrapbooks for one Christmas for all the grown kids as gifts.
Wow, that's cool.
That's a big job.
That's a big job. You know what? This would look really cool next to there. Or what I did last time, and I really like it, is I used this 'Tis the Season tag, and I think I'll actually put that in here because I do like the way that looks. And it gives all of that room for journaling. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do this just like I did last time. Go ahead and put my polar bears down on one side and get my 'Tis the Season tag and use it on the other side. So I'm violating my own rule about not putting in my tags and stickers and labels and fun stuff until I'm done. But this just looks so cute there. But it must be done. And sometimes things just must be done, you know. Must be. So I have the tags on the back of this green one. And I'm going to cut out this 'Tis the Season tag. I can't help it. It was sitting right in front of me and I needed it. I'm allowing the red to stay around the edge because that's so pretty and it'll really show it off on here. So let's go ahead and put this one down. One of our kitties, Taz, she's my naughty kitty, had surgery this week. She had a tumor on her right thigh that had to come off. We don't know whether it's a bad news tumor or not, but in any case, it needed to come off because it made her uncomfortable and it wouldn't heal. So we took her in and had surgery done on her this week. She seems to be feeling pretty perky. She, of course, took her cone off almost immediately. So that's not going to make her vet happy because she wouldn't wear the other kind, so the vet gave us one she's not supposed to be able to remove. Wrong. She didn't know my cat. Next up, let's do some red. I love this paper. I'll bet you guys knew I love this paper though, because how many projects have we done from this paper? And I still have two more actually. We have the fun folds. Uh-oh, this was directional. I just cut it the wrong way, but I can use this one. So I'll cut the other one the right way. Oops. Now she's a naughty kitty because she's been a naughty kitty her whole life. You have never met such an opinionated cat in your entire life, Roberta, as this kitty. This kitty is something else, isn't she, Brace?
Pretty much.
I don't think I've had cats my whole life, and I don't think I've ever had one as opinionated as this kitty. She is just a character. If she wasn't so darn pretty and loving and affectionate when she's not being naughty, I don't know what I'd do. But when she's not being just a pill, she is sweet and affectionate and pretty and loving, and she's just beautiful. She's black with that reddish cast to her, with big, big green eyes. And she's just beautiful, long-haired. But as can be as ornery as the day is long. Okay. I'm going to use some of this pretty blue. And look how pretty these fan out there. I just love the colors. This really would be fun to put a picture, do some of your holiday recipes, honey, and put a picture of the finished dish, and then make the, put the recipe on the other side. Do you think that'd be kind of fun?
Sure. Get right on that.
That means you'd have to hold still and tell me what your recipes are. I am going to go back. I think I said this before. Go back and put a few borders on some of these, because I think we can put on borders without messing up too much the potential for putting in pictures and journaling. And that's laughing at you. Okay. What do we have in our last one? I did green. Do we still have green? I do. Still have this pretty green up here. Oh, but I have all my pretty tags on the back of that one. Not sure I want to cut that one up. What else have I got? I could use this red I have right here. I think this red would be fine. And I don't have this red print on that side yet, so let's see what we can do. 4 and 6 1/4 here. Let's see if we have 4 by 6 1/4 of this one. I have 4. I have exactly 4 by 6 1/4 of this one. It needs to be just a little narrow. I think I could go up there, I guess. Yeah, I think that'll be okay. Somehow that seems long. Is that longer than 6 1/4? No, it's not. Just seems like it. Okay, let's go ahead and put these down. Then we're going to do some trim work. We have our back cover and our spine to do. We have some borders to put on. We have our flowers and our stickling to do. So I think we're tracking to finish about 4:30. Which is pretty good for doing a whole album, don't you think? Get down to about this point in the process, you start having to make choices of what to use where. That looks beautiful. Let's see how we're doing. Wowzer. You know what, guys? That's darn right pretty. Look at that. Now I want to put some borders in here. In here. So let's look at some interior borders. Oops. Now this you have to be super careful with. I'm going to show you my blender in my first book. It looked like I could easily come in really close, honey. Closer, closer. If you get, there you go. If you get these trim strips too wide, then your paper starts buckling along the seams. So we need to be very careful that we're not cutting our trim strips too wide. That was you guys see all my mistakes. But we can learn something from my blunders, and you don't have to make blunders. That's a good thing. Okay, let's decide what we want for a trim strip there. Let's see, I do think this one would be pretty. This would be quite pretty, wouldn't it? It matched the green. I want just a little trim strip. I'm gonna start at about 3/8 of an inch. Just a little trim strip. And then we'll see from there where we go. I just want to make absolutely certain this time that I don't get it too wide. Taking even a little bit more off with my scissors. I think that's going to be okay. That would look really nice there.
Irene says she used a craft knife to trim the paper because she had done the same thing.
Yep. Thank you, Roberta.
That was Irene.
I know, but Roberta's made a comment about handmade things. That's how you know they're handmade, as they have little imperfections, and that's what makes them special. Well, in concept, I agree. In practice, I don't want to make mistakes. I get impatient with myself for making mistakes, like cutting that paper too short right there. But I'll make it right. Uh-oh. If you guys can learn something from my mistakes, then I'm happy to show you my mistakes. That's kind of what we need to do sometimes. Let's see if that's a good cut. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. I cut that too short, if you're wondering what that little tiny square is there. So I would say don't go over 3/8 of an inch. Wide on this little beauty here. Fitting in there nicely all the way. It's fitting nicely. Okay. There we go. Let's do another one over here. I generally love my Caterpillar, but there are a couple times when it's really not the perfect machine. It doesn't have any dimensions below 1 inch, so you kind of have to guess on things, and that's kind of a pain. And the only other time that I find it to be annoying is when I'm doing things like making these fun fold cards. I actually need a trimmer for those where you can lift the blade, and this one you can't lift the blade. Okay, that's going to go nicely there. A little weight on the end I'm going to trim off. Cut this to 7 inches. Maybe I'll go 7 1/4 just in case it's a little longer. That was a good call. 3/8 inch by 7 1/4 on these little trim strips. And I realize that looks narrow, but it's the only way it's going to fit in there without buckling that paper. So it'll just be a little colored strip with lots of black around it. And that's okay, because we don't want that ruffly look to our finished work. Perfect. It's fitting in there nicely. Now we need one for over here. I'm going to say this one on this side needs to stay to about 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to try about 3/4 on this one. by 7 1/4. Maybe just a little shy of 7 1/4. Have that white strip on top again, so I'm going to get rid of that. A tiny little thing there. Yeah, that looks like it's going to go. We'll give it a shot, huh? Let's see how that's going to work. Perfect. Yay! Okay, I made plenty of mistakes, but I didn't make the same mistake twice, so that's good. All right, so we got that. We got to come back to this trim over here. I want to put down this Let It Snow would be good. Let's see what else I have for borders. I have a whole border sheet here. Why am I futzing about borders when I could choose what I like? Okay. Let's see what we want for a border. I also have this side to do. I think I like that So Very Merry for this side. Kind of matches my, I'm going to use that one over here. A little bit of white on there yet. There we go. Go to I'm going to cut this at the green line. Just take a look at what that would look like. Ooh, that looks really nice. I like that. So I am going to have to come down and around my opening a little bit. This tag out for now. And I really do like Glenn's idea. I think over there where the punches are, there's a board that goes across and there's a carousel on top. Will you look and see if there's a round punch there? If there is, I'll just glue this in place and then punch it again. Good night, Mary. Is there a round one there?
I have.
No, under it.
Yes.
Yes, I need that, please. That's a big punch, but well, let's see what happens. I mean, come on, life's an adventure. I'm going to go ahead and glue this in then. It's like a 2-inch punch, so I don't know how this will work out. But you know, sometimes you just got to try stuff, and I do think it's an inspired idea. So we'll find out. I do very much like this border here. That looks really cool. Let's do a border on the other side. What do I want for that? I have this blue that's nice. The blue kind of pulls in the poinsettias. That would not be bad. We have these robins. I think I like the robins and the joy. Let's come clear down here and get these robins. Enough room for a nice wide border, so why not? Get this really cute robin paper. Which really, the robin pulls together with these robins. That's really cute. How wide does that trim strip need to be? Again, it needs to be 6 3/4 wide. So let's go ahead and glue that in place. Okay. Take that out so I can see what I'm doing. Maybe put a fit in there. Will you fit? Nope, I made it too big. I mean, it's too big to go through my punch. It won't go through my punch. Okay, well, next thought. I could just trim that out. I could trim that out square, and that would look good. I might do that. To decide for sure what I'm going to do, but I think I'm going to trim down from the corners on both sides and then cut across the border. I think that's what I'll do since I can't use my punch in there. The punch was a great idea, just didn't work. Because at least my punch doesn't work because it's two. My chipboard plus 2 pieces of paper is too thick. So, do a little surgery here. You guys as nervous as me. Oh, that's hard. That's going to work okay. I think I'm going to have to take a craft knife and do this and several holes across there, and I'm not sure that's the best use of your time to watch me do that over and over again. I can actually, where's my sharper scissors? Oh, no, they're right there. Is there anything that a cutter bee cannot do? I don't know. Cutter bees are just the best scissors. We have a notch. Houston, we have a notch. I actually like it. I think it's going to be fine. Okay. Whew. All right. We got that done. I still want some borders around inside here and there. Let's look and see if there's anything we want to do real quick here. Solidly down. Let's see what I have for a border strip. I like this Making Spirit Sprite. Got my long blade scissors. There's a lot we could do at this point, putting on tags and borders and decorations, and that's actually some of the most fun part. But I just feel like I want to let them do that after they put the photos in. And as I said, that might be me putting the photos in, depending on who I give it to. Like that there. So we have lots of little borders, little trims, little images, all kinds of fun stuff. And when you get done here with your large pieces, I recommend before you throw anything that you look those pieces over and see what kinds of little trim would be available. Even some of the solids would be just really gorgeous. Oh, Glenn, it was a brilliant idea. And I think maybe I just need to notch the papers before I try and put them down as a border. In this case, I'd already put them down, but I think next time I need to try and notch the papers before I put them down. So it's okay. You know, you got to try stuff. And I thought it was a great thing to try. I like to make sure that I have pretty interesting edges. You know, I like some solids, but I don't want too many solids. So putting fun edges on some of these is a good way to kind of break things up I'm going to put those poinsettias right there. I think these borders won't keep them from doing anything they want to do with putting anything in. So, oh, I like that. I'm putting that there. Yeah, next time I'm going to try that again with the circle rounder. May even get myself a 1.5 inch, so I have a smaller one just for this purpose. But I think if I punched the circles, the half circles, before I attached everything, that would be the way to go. Don't you, Glenn? There we go. There, that looks nice. Okay. I think I'm going to stop there for now. Let's go to the outside again. We still need to figure out what we're going to do. And what I do think I'm going to do, though, I might come in and trim this out a little bit more, put some kind of cute little trim around that too. Maybe I'll do that now. I'm going to put some cute little trim around that box. Because my cutting may not be absolutely straight. And this little border on there could be really cute. So let's do that. Think of it like this. Well, that's going to be cute. Are we eating at Lauren's?
Yes.
Oh,
breakfast for dinner.
Oh, good. That's Weight Watcher appropriate. That was a good suggestion. Did you suggest that?
Perhaps.
Huh?
Perhaps.
Good job. Otherwise, it takes me 6 days to recover from the things I've eaten I shouldn't have. Okay, I think this is really cute. Okay. All right, let's go to the outside. We have lots of fun here, but we need to do our binding and our back of our album. Let's see what kind of big pieces we have left. If we don't have a 7x7, it's not the worst case scenario not to cover the back of the album, but if we have one big enough, it'd be nice. I know I have enough for the spine in that, I believe. Let's see what we've got left here. Aha! That could be fun. Actually, that's perfect. I'm going with it. It's what I have enough of, and I'm doing it. Now let's remember how big this cover is. I think we have to go 7 by 7.25. Let's get this oriented correctly. 7.25 wide, so we're cutting it at 7. And 7.5. So we're going to go 7 by 7.25. that's going to look beautiful. I put it on the right direction. Oh, I like that. I do like that. The rich antique Santa and these colors on the front. It's perfect. And get my orientation straight again. That's not right. That is right. Got glue everywhere. We'll just do a little cleanup on that. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, let's see if we can get a piece of this poinsettia paper long enough to use. Need 7 inches. 7 1/4. Oh yeah. I can easily get 7 1/4 out of that. Okay, I gotta cut off some of these extras to get at my paper cutter. Okay, let's see. Okay, how long, how wide does that need to be? That is 1 inch, so 1 3/4 roughly. I'm going to make 2 of them. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We still have 2 more Let It Snow projects. We have our 3 Fun Folds cards coming up. And there are kits out there still for that one. And we have an explosion box that we're going to do in this one. I'll take my second strip and put it here. And I would say we will have explored everything there is to explore in Let It Snow by then. Some of you have been sad that we didn't have more Let It Snow after we finish putting our kits together. You just might see some Let It Snow show back up on our website. So if you have been forlorn that Let It Snow has been sold out, there's actually a little bit out there even now, but you will most likely see some more Let It Snow show up there. So there we go. All right. We need our poinsettias. We need our dazzles. We need our jewels. I have jewels in my packet here. We're going to put on our flowers, then our jewels, then our stickles. So these little flowers, made with love, I must say again. It is a labor of love that you guys got all these flowers. After I said I would not do it, I did it because I got to take care of you. It just must be done. It just must. So I'm going to build 2 big poinsettias here that have 4 layers. I don't know, I kind of like that one with 3. And I'm going to put a jewel in the middle of that flower. We got one done. I'm going to build another big one. You will have plenty of flower petals in your kit to do the flowers on your album. I used 4 on my album, but you can decorate this in any way you choose. I'll show you again what I did. In fact, you're going to see it right here. We're going to do it again, I guess. You construct the flowers, stamp side up. Seems like an obvious statement, but it's not always obvious when you go to look at things. I'll grab another jewel for the center of my flower, which is going to make my flowers tie really well with my stickles. Okay, I actually have enough to build 3 larger ones, so I think I'll do that. And I'll make a couple little ones, and we'll see how many I actually want to use. These little poinsettias are from Heartfelt Creations. This is the poinsettia and holly. I believe we have the cutting dies, the stamps, and the shaping, the mold to shape the petals, all in the store. I'll take out that last petal. I didn't care for that in there. Okay, let's put together a couple little flowers. Okay. I'd love to see some of you guys' projects on Facebook when you're finished with them. Okay. We have these little 3 and 4 petal hollies. And sometimes they look really pretty just set over the top of the holly, like I'm going to do with this little one. And sometimes, as you're arranging them, what I like to do is tear the holly apart and put the leaves where I want them. Because they don't always show where I want them to show. So I'm going to make this one, I'm going to make the holly a lot bigger under this one so that all of the holly will show a bit. I should have torn off another one there. Then I can pull that holly right out where I want it to be. And I can get it to show where otherwise it just hides under my flower blossoms. Like that. I'm going to put a little more under there still. See there how much more greenery I'm getting by tearing those open. Spreading them out a little more. Now I'll put that little piece I had left in here. A little more glue. I'm liking that. That's pretty. Okay. Let's see what else we got. That one. That's a nice fit there. I'll bring this one out a little. Get our flowers all built here. All right, let's keep these pieces of greenery until we actually have these arranged on our album. I'm going to come into the corner here. I think I like the side with less holly towards the corner so it doesn't go over too far. I'm actually going to go ahead and put this one down. And put plenty of glue on the bottom of it. I'm going to set that right in here. I'm going to take one of these smaller ones and kind of come in from the side. I'm going to put that right there. Oh, you stay put. Let that go right in there. I'm going to bring another one. Maybe I want one of the bigger ones. Yeah, I think I do. I'm going to bring this one in from this side. Let's get some holly on the back of here. Tear that apart and pull these holly out further. They really look terrible on the back, but they look great on the front. That's what we care about, right? I'm liking that. I think that looks quite pretty. So let's glue that down. May still come back in and tuck a little holly here and there. We'll see what we have left. We're done. Kind of covered up my bunny a little bit. Let him show a little more. Okay. That was not your TV. If you saw something change there, it's because our classroom lights are on motion sensors, and it had not sensed that anybody moved for a while, so the lights in the classroom went out. If it's for a non-crafter, send some type of tape. Good idea for putting those embellishments down. That's a great idea. Okay, get some greenery under this one. With those hollies kind of sticking out here and there. We still have a couple little pieces of holly we can tuck here and there. Oops, that one came out. Maybe go back where I put you. Okay, I have one more little poinsettia flower here. I think that looks pretty cute. Let's go ahead and glue those down. Catch the end of those hollies again. Let's make sure they stay where I put them. Put those down. I have a few little sprigs left here. I'll tuck under here and there. One more little sprig of holly. I think it wants to go right there, right in front of the little bunny nose. Or does it want to go up there? Looks good there too. I think I'm going to put it up there. One more little sprig of holly. Right in there. And you just look for open spots, you know. There's our flowers on the bottom. Okay, I had one poinsettia leaf left. All right, you might have 4 flowers, you might have 3, or you might have, let me try that again. You might have 4 flowers, or you might have 5. Here's what it looked like with the 4. I put 2 on the other side this time. All right, now let's get some jewels on here. And I sent the jewels because we have all these little snowflakes that kind of are like the little starburst. And I love to put jewels in the centers of those. So I'm going to come along and just put little bits of shimmer in the middle of some of those snowflakes. Most of them I'm going to use the little jewels, but on a couple of the larger ones I'll use mediums. That's a bigger one right there, and there's another big one on his jacket. So I'll put a couple bigger ones in. Little one, little one over there. See a couple in the tree. Just give those some little stones in the centers of those. There's a nice big one over here. Maybe give him a bigger center. And I see a couple other little ones over here and over here. You should have plenty of gems to decorate your snowflakes. I think we caught most of them. I'm just putting the little gems in the centers of the snowflakes. Now, let's grab our Stickles bottle. And I need to say this, I say this every time, but it's really important that when you're using your Stickles, guys, use a really light hand. You can always come in when it's dry and add more, but you don't want the stickles to buckle your paper, or it just will be so much classier if you use a really light hand with your stickles. So I'm putting a fair amount of stickles on my flowers because I kept the flowers that were stamped off. You guys got pretty flowers, but mine were kind of off center a little bit. It's like my Stickles bottle's trying to jam. I gotta get I have a pen. I need a pen, honey. Over here. Stickles, just like your glue bottles, will sometimes just get a little bit of glitter stuck in the nozzle and you have to clear it with a pen. Thank you, hon. I appreciate it. Okay, and let's see if that, oh, that loosened things up nicely. Thank you. So I'm putting a little extra stickles on my flowers because of my veins kind of being off. This is Diamond Stickles. It kind of catches warm highlights. If you prefer, you can grab a bottle of your Twinkle or one of the cooler highlights ones, although this looks really good. It does look good. Okay, I've done my flowers at the bottom. I'm going to come in and I'm going to outline my snow line along the bottom. I'm going to do just a little bit here and there in my snow. A lot of times I'll do it around the tracks or where it, where there's kind of a color division, or right under their feet, just to kind of give me a little bit of separation where the ground is. And I love to do the trees, but again, go really light-handed, just little strokes on your trees, little strokes. Not any, I would not try and fill in all the white areas, just little, you can see what I'm doing, just little strokes in the trees will give you enough to really catch the light without giving you enough to buckle your paper and make your paper damp so that your cover ripples. You would not want that to happen after all of this work. So keep it light-handed, just little strokes. And you still get just magnificent effects. There's my tree. Okay, I'm going to come in and I'm going to do this tree on the other side. Actually, I'm going to do the tree that Santa's holding. Just, again, just little bits, guys. My tip might be clogged again. Oh, there it comes. Okay. He's got a little snow on that tree he's holding, so I'll give him just a little bit of stickles on that tree, just little dots here and there. I'm going to come in and I'm going to do those little strokes over here again. Just very light-handed, just little lines in the tree. Not too much, not so much that we get ripply. I do kind of follow the angles of the branches with my strokes. I think we've got it. What do you think? I think we've got it, guys. I think we did everything we were going to do. I'm going to be very gentle and hold this back away from myself. But we've got our wet wipe. We've got our beautiful album all finished. It was a 3-hour project. I'm not quite done yet. I mean, I'm done in class, but I'm not quite done yet because what I'm going to do next, put this on the table so I can't ruin it, please. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to go back through my scraps and I'm going to cut some of these borders and things I think I might want to keep, like I like that Let It Snow. So I'm going to cut out all these accents that I think would be beautiful inside the album. And I'm going to prepare a little packet to go with it. So I'll cut out all of my tags. I'll cut some borders. I'll keep this, Let It Snow, and even this part of the blue, because I think those blue borders are terrific to work with. So I'll keep that. I'm going to cut out this Let It Snow because it's pretty. And that's a pretty tag to use. So I'm going to go through all of my scraps. I'm going to look for everything that's at least 4 inches long in borders. Lost my cap somewhere. It'll show up. If it's less than that, I can probably throw it away, but I'm going to keep everything that's at least 4 inches for potential tags. I'll go ahead and cut my tags out of my leftover sheet here. And I'm going to prepare a nice little packet of tags and stickers to accompany my album. Tags, stickers, and borders that she can put on and fit them around whatever she chooses to do with this. She might choose to make it a recipe album, or she might choose to use it for photos. I don't know. But I'll have all these neat little pieces available for her to put in wherever they fit. And that's really some of the fun, isn't it? I think that's some of the fun, is to decorate the pages. So she has a lot of flexibility in how to use this album. What kinds of questions, comments, or pearls of wisdom do you guys have for me at this point? Are there any questions? I love the suggestions you guys came up with. I really am going to try that half circle before I construct the chipboard page, because I think that's a great idea. Any other thoughts or suggestions you guys want to chip in? I'll show you my explosion box if you want to see it. I'm going to do some more work on it yet, but I'll show you what I have so far. Now see, this only has partial images, but I love these stripes, so I'm keeping that page. Let's see, here's my explosion box. We'll get the kits out there for this. I haven't done them yet. I haven't decided whether to do it as a kit or just a recommended set of supplies, because a bunch of you have your explosion boards already. So I might just want to have you guys get the items you might still need. You know, the paper pack and I haven't just decided how to do that yet. I might do one with and without the explosion board, actually. But you can see they make up really pretty in an explosion box, too. I haven't finished this one. I still need to put some gems here and there. I'm going to put some sayings in it still. And it needs a nice, pretty white bow on the top of the box to match the snowflakes on the box. There's the cap to my Stickles. Let me also remind you about the 3 fun folds also in Let It Snow. There's my template. I have to keep my template. I need to label what it is. This is my waterfall folio pocket. So I don't throw it out or ink on it or do some of the things I'm known to do. Here's our 3 fun folds. I still haven't done the side step ones. I will before class, but this is our this is our center step card with 2 levels. So it's actually a double step center card. And for this one, we're going to use ephemera and an 8x8 pad. But these are so pretty standing up. They're so dimensional and so decorative. And the ephemera pack works really nicely with the papers to give you just some beautiful effects for these cards. So your kit is $26, I believe, but I'm giving you in that kit enough papers and materials to make about 12 cards. So they are going to be great fun. So we have the center step, the side step, which I don't have here yet, embarrassingly, and Z-fold cards. Z-fold cards stand like this. Now, let's see if we can show you where I don't have 40 other cards standing. Z-fold cards stand like this. So they're really pretty too. So this is our 3 fun folds class. The other side stepper cards they'll be bigger than this, but they'll be more like this, where the steps are up one side and the image is on the other. So that is our 3 fun folds. They're coming up next week, maybe? And then our explosion box will come up after that. And then I promise there's no more Let It Snow. Shutter cards, albums, 3 fun folds, and an explosion box card. Talk about exploring a kit. Holy cow. You guys have been asking and asking and asking about albums. The albums are now out there. We have several that are listed. You can access them now. This is what the ivory album looks like. I have another one that was right here, and I think it's fallen off the back of my table. This is what the ivory album looks like. It's beautiful too. And then there's also one done in craft. So we have these. The black will not be back in stock at the manufacturer until after Christmas, and then it may be a while. We also have several other styles of albums that I don't have right here right now, but I'll show them to you on What's New Wednesday because they're in my box having just been listed. So there we go. In the absence of any questions, comments, or pearls of wisdom, I think we should head this off. Before I do, though, let me say if you enjoyed today's class, mash that like button, would you please? It makes me feel great, and it lets YouTube know they can trust to recommend us to other people. We also, if you are not currently a subscriber, as you can hear, there's lots of good stuff coming up. So hit that subscribe button and please tell your friends about both this site and our website. Sales on our website's what keeps us going on YouTube. So if you love these classes, please support our store and ask your friends and family to support our store. If you haven't already put together your Christmas list, you should be using that wish list function in our store. You can put together a list of things you want, and I can help your family that way actually get some of the things that you're wishing you had on your Christmas list. So you can tell them they can call me, and if you've made a list available to me, I will help them get the things you're looking for. And of course, there's also gift certificates too, which are a great way to get your kids and be able to do your own shopping, which is great fun. We will be back on Tuesday with $2 Tuesday. It's become one of the most popular days of the week around here. On Wednesday, we'll be back with What's New Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Thursday, we'll be back with another fun class. I believe this week we're doing the Deco Large a class from Magic Christmas. So we haven't had any of the Deco Large in a while. We'll do those on Thursday. And we'll be back on Friday with our Half Price Friday sale, what we call Fabulous Friday. And then next Saturday, we'll be here again at 2 p.m. Pacific Time, 5 p.m. Eastern. We will see you soon. And for now, I'm going to say good night, Gracie.